Penguins of Madagascar. I will admit that I wouldn't say that I'm a huge fan of the franchise, but I do enjoy the films a lot. The first one was great, the second was pretty good, and the third was okay, but a nice conclusion to the story. As for the TV show, I honestly haven't seen any of the episodes, but I did hear some good things about it, and I heard that the Penguins decided to ditch TV to have their own movie, leaving King Julian with the series all to himself. But can the Penguins handle this tough operation of starring in their own feature, or was this all a flippin' mistake? Let's find out. The story. It's pretty much what you'd expect when you hear the title of the movie. Imagine Madagascar without any of the main characters and without the lemurs, leaving the rest to the penguins. The result is just a series of action scenes and non-stop humor. But here's the thing, that's it. The thing about the story is that this is a film that's anything but serious. All the scenarios and the missions of the characters are just so silly and ridiculous. In fact, it's so silly to the point that it actually feels more like this was meant for an episode of the TV series, but somehow decided to turn it into a movie. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing per se, but the goofy tone would actually depend on your taste if you love it enough to experience it in theaters.
You're up, Private. You just mermaid my day.
Speaking of which, since it tries to pull off so many jokes at once, the humor can be a little bit of a mix. There are times when it would make you laugh, but most of the time, they fall pretty flat. And I swear I will slap someone if I hear one more pun that includes a celebrity's name. However, not everything is all action and gags. There are times when it tries to have a heart when Private wanted to be recognized as a valued member of the team. This does not work. Whenever they try to bring it in, it feels forced and gives the plot that sense of predictability, like you know the chain of events that will come. The silliness of the story isn't so bad, but maybe it should have been reserved for TV. The animation. At least the one thing to look forward to here is the nice animation delivered by DreamWorks. Outside of the silly tone, the action scenes are the highlights of the movie, and they really are awesome. Since they decided to make the film fast-paced with its humor, it translates really well with the action. There are so many things going on, but they all go pretty smoothly. That, and they are creative with the scenarios that the penguins get themselves into.
Fire in the hole!
But it's not just the action scenes that are creative. There's also the technology that the characters use that share a nice design along with plenty of color, rather it be from the headquarters of the North Wind or in Dave's lair. Even the character animation is actually well done with some simple cartoony animation that nicely uses the squash and stretch technique for a computer animated feature. Although it does happen when some like Dave can get too over the top, but I'll get back to him later. The only setbacks I would have with the visuals is that the backgrounds and the settings feel pretty generic, like they're always in some kind of city or something like that. Which is pretty bad since they do go all around the world from New York, Shanghai, Venice, and more. I mean, even Cars 2's settings feel more atmospheric than this. That, and also, the overall design of the Madagascar franchise isn't really the best. I get where they're going with the simple look to complement its Looney Tunes style cartoony nature, but it could be a little too simplistic for a computer animated feature. But even with that, it doesn't hide the fact that the animation does look pretty good. The characters. Now, let me start off with the penguins to mention what's wrong with the movie. In the original trilogy, they're meant to be the weird comic reliefs to bring some good laughs along with some materials for the other characters like the monkeys and King Julian to work with. But when they place them here in their own movie, The people at DreamWorks barely did anything to make them fully fleshed out characters able to carry their own feature. The most that they've done is make Private more sentimental about his position in the team, but again, that just makes them predictable. Even with their origin story, they didn't do much other than say that they think differently than all the other penguins, and that's what makes them stand out.
Anybody see that? That's an egg.
You know, we lose a few eggs every year. It's just nature.
You know what? I reject nature. Who's with me?
As for the other new characters, they don't really offer a lot to work with either. The North Wind is just shown as a more professional team than the Penguins, with Ava as the smart one, Corporal as the dumb one with muscles, Short Fuse as the little angry guy, and Classified as the leader of the team to show the Penguins how things should be done. And then there's the villain of the film, Dave, who honestly could have been a great villain. He has such a great backstory that even ties in a bit with the world of Madagascar, but the problem is that he's executed in a really over-the-top manner that takes away any threat or sense of seriousness to the guy. But then again, the movie doesn't want to take itself seriously, so it's not really his fault. Although they are tolerable, the characters don't really offer much to make themselves stand out. I feel like I didn't really see a movie here, but more of a dumb, silly cartoon. Although Penguins of Madagascar does offer some nice animation and some great action scenes, the writing is pretty questionable by putting this very goofy tone with jokes that sometimes work instead of having fleshed out characters and a developed story. Kids will definitely have a blast with this, but outside of that, I'd only recommend this to fans of the TV series. The rest can wait until they can rent it. It feels more like something that's meant to be enjoyed at home in a smaller screen than in a theater. Oh god, I just realized. I think I was saying penguins wrong the whole time. I'm so sorry, guys. Mr. Cumberbatch, how is it that you say penguins in this movie again?
I think I know how to say penguin. I'll say penguins. It's mortifying, but there are other people who should take some flack, including my producer.
But did no one at the end of the thing, could we just try the word penguin again?
Maybe. Maybe they just gave up.